Good morning, everyone. My name is Gary Steuer. I am the president and CEO of the Bonfils-Stanton Foundation and a proud board member of Grantmakers in the Arts. And so excited to be here.
Tariana, Navas-Nieves, Director of Cultural Affairs for the City and County of Denver, and a proud new board member.
Well, first off, we're clearly up here to talk to you a little bit about next year. But before we get to next year, I just want to have another round of applause for the staff and volunteers of Grantmakers in the Arts. You know, they and you all have made it sort of difficult for us because, once again, GIA has set the bar very high. And we now have a high bar to meet. But this has been a fantastic conference, and I think it's really extraordinary how not just GIA has stepped up, but all the attendees. We were just talking about that earlier, how there's just this wonderful feeling, and I think sometimes adversity brings people together, and I think people have been so excited about getting out and about in Oakland and all being together in this special way. That said, we are looking forward to next year in Denver, Colorado. We can't promise you a tent. Can't tell you how many people have said that. Don't expect a tent, but expect something really extraordinary and really cool. Also, we can't promise you an ocean. No oceans in Denver, but we do have rivers, so we do have water, and we have mountains. So we can promise you both of that. And I do want to also encourage folks, as you begin thinking about next year, even though we're still here, also think about maybe taking a little extra time at the front end, at the back end, as many people have done here, because there is so much to see and do in Denver and the region that you're not going to be able to fit it all in the time of the conference. So you're going to have to spend some extra time there. And with that, I'm going to turn it over. I think I've covered all the things I wanted to say. I did want to say also, yes, we have extraordinary culture in Denver, and you're going to get a little flavor of that. But we also have fantastic food and great neighborhoods. Great history, actually a park system designed in part by Frederick Law Olmsted, who did Central Park in New York, one of those little known facts of Denver. And when I moved there 5 years ago, that was one of the things that was a great surprise to me, because for a Western city, and it still has a bit of the Old West in it, although it's not a cow town anymore, it does have real neighborhoods, and real neighborhoods with a great sense of history. So you will learn all of that when you come to Denver.
Thank you, Gary. So I just wanted to, today is especially, I think, significant for me, because I remember when I attended the first GIA conference, and I walked in and I truly felt I found my people. So today I am just so honored and humbled to, again, be a new board member and being able to just share with your brilliance. I'm certainly humble. And when thinking about Denver, I want to we are so excited to be able to share our beloved city, because for us, arts is also craft beer, tattoos, not just murals and performing arts, but it's food and it's weed, and it's so that's arts and culture for us. I kept thinking, like, how do we top a tent? Maybe we have goodie bags or something. So and actually this year as government, we actually were able to get funding from weed to support our art programs. So that's pretty amazing. That's pretty awesome. So our weed industry not only supports schools, but supports the arts. So anywho, I'm looking forward to meeting in Denver next month, to start brainstorming and thinking about what the conference will be like for all of us. And now we just want to share a video that is by Brenton Way. He's a Denver artist, and he truly captures the values of GIA, the values of our city in terms of arts, culture, creativity, inclusion, and equity. So enjoy, and I will see you in Denver.
In our world, each life is a thread, the fibers of which are forged by the stories and origins of every indelible individual who makes the human tapestry indivisible, and created by the campfire flames that have always compelled us to conspire and commiserate. And even if we've moved on from the tribe, the village lives on to share in the hope of the Promethean flame. Because hope is made here, and it's made now. With each precious second, where we now count grids and blocks rather than blades of grass. Today, the torch has been passed on, and now we sow new threads of humanity across city streets. Streets where whispers flitter in our ears, speaking stories that at times the soul is too afraid to utter out loud. For the city is a haven, a respite, a solace from a sometimes solemn world that says that safety lies in building borders rather than bridges. But the faithful warriors of the municipal village say otherwise. They let colors paint the air in spectral streaks of acceptance. They let kindness line the streets so that every roadway, gateway, and alleyway will be a path to friendship. They breathe culture into speech and their very life into language so that with every inhaled breath, each citizen is transformed with a snippet of a new identity. Because that's what it means to be multifaceted. The city has no face. It has millions of them. It's the epitome of biodiversity. And whether it's in our DNA or PSAs, that diversity is what keeps us alive. For a collage has no beauty without a collision of colluding cultures. And the moment that those threads cease to multiply, the city dies. For just like humanity, from the pristine to the gritty, the beauty lies in the multiplicity.
We're back for just a little bit. We now have the excitement of picking out of this basket here the name of somebody who will get a free registration to the Denver conference. So, Tariana.
Emily Peck from Americans for the Arts.
Emily, you here?
You here?
Okay. Fantastic. We're done.
See you next year.
See you next year in Denver.
Hi. In a moment, we're going to bring out Access Dance. And I would like to take a moment just to say a great big thank you to our board chair, Angelique Power, the president of the Field Foundation of Illinois. You know, we've been really lucky to get a moment together like this where we were able to really celebrate what it is to operationalize our values as an organization and also as a community of practice. You know, for those of us who are grant makers, we're all aware of the sort of cliched perception of us out in the field, you know, that we are very separate from the community that we serve, that we can be very entitled, but that's not the community I've come to know as a grant maker, not in the time I've spent working at foundations or in the time that I have spent working for the government. And I think the person who really exemplifies that for me is Angelique. When I first met Angelique, we actually met at a racial equity training that was led by People's Institute for Survival and Beyond. That was being offered by Grantmakers in the Arts to the grant-making community. Now, this was years ago, and I initially approached her because I was lost and looking for directions. And we've come to be friends, we've come to be fellow board members together, and she has led this transition from Janet Brown's leadership to my leadership with this perfect combination of moral courage, strategic thinking, and poise. And when it comes to making tough choices like the one that we've made here together, I really wouldn't be in a position to be able to do any of this with all of you if it wasn't for Angelique. And I just want to say, Angelique, I know I speak for all of us when I say I love you very much. Thank you. These are for you. You can't bring them on a plane. So look at them for a little bit. And I'm going to bring them over to your table. So let's just take a moment to be together while we set up, and then we'll get to enjoy Access Dance Company together. Thank you.